What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on BlackTideTV at long last. I would love to thank you guys for 6,000 subscribers. Before we go any farther, that has always been a massive milestone of mine. It sounds like a strange one, but my hometown has a population of 6,000 people. So to think at this point that there are potentially more people viewing my YouTube content than there are people living in my hometown is pretty wild. I wanted to make a full video on American Thanksgiving and go off on that topic. Not only that, but two of my more recent videos, which will be linked in the description down below of course, my Hellion Salvo video as well as my Fresh Start video, are now both over 25,000 views, putting them both in my top 5 most viewed videos of all time on YouTube, which is just wild to think about, and I'd love to thank you guys for that so much. I had a really good week. My last week I was here on YouTube, and then life got in the way. I got really busy and I had to take a little time off. But we're back now, and in today's video, I'd like to talk about Operator Mod attachments. Operator Mod attachments in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 are like a dream come true for me, because I've been asking for operator attachments for the longest time, basically. From Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, there was a weapon known as the TAR-21. It's okay, there were a ton of weapons in that game, and it was like 10 years ago. I understand if you don't remember this one, it's a little forgettable. But the TAR-21 had a very unique red dot sight on it. Every other weapon in the game, when you put the red dot sight, you'd get a square kind of glass red dot sight. But with the TAR-21, you would get a very tall, weirdly cylindrically shaped, circular red dot sight known as the Mars sight. And it wouldn't actually appear in the menus, but when you got in game, it would just look completely different. It would blow your mind. It was like, what is this weird sight? I didn't ask for this. But then you'd start using it and you'd be like, okay, this is kind of cool. It's like a super unique attachment specific to this weapon. And from that day forward, I've always wanted unique attachments for every single weapon in a Call of Duty game's lineup. Maybe at the final stage of the leveling for that weapon, you unlock a unique attachment that only that weapon can use, and it's specific to that weapon, and it makes that weapon do something just crazy. And that's basically what operator mods do in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Unfortunately, not all weapons have operator mods. At launch and to this day, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 has only ever had 27 weapons available for use, which is far fewer than your average Call of Duty game by a significant margin. Most Call of Duty games launch with 30, 32, 34 weapons. It isn't the end of the world, but it is a noticeable difference. You'll see in the secondary category 2 shotguns, 1 launcher, only 3 LMGs. There isn't a whole lot of variety, and to make matters worse, not all of those 27 weapons have operator mods. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a little slighted that we're already getting fewer weapons than we should, and those weapons aren't even decked out to the nines. Like, they're not the best that they could be, because 1/3 of the weapons do not have operator mods. 27 weapons, 18 have operator mods. What happened to the other 9 weapons, Treyarch? Could you not think of any ideas? I like to think that they were like, oh yeah, this is a balancing thing because these weapons are so good they don't need operator mods. But then I just think that's just lazy. Some of the operator mods that are available in this game are completely useless. They're just stupid. Some of them are really fun to use, but they aren't incredibly effective. Like the Hades crossbar. It isn't the best operator mod in the world. I actually think aiming down sights with the Hades is better, but this turns it into the Call of Duty Ghost chainsaw, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a new way to play the game. Then there are those operator mods that do actually make a significant difference, but you could choose one of those types of operator mods for all of these extra 9 weapons that didn't get one. Now here's the deal. Chances of Treyarch implementing new operator mods to their existing weapons lineup are slim to none. Let's all be honest, that's not going to make them money unless they start selling operator mod attachments as microtransactions. The only realistic way I could see new operator mods becoming available in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer is through the use of DLC, or more specifically, DLC weaponry. Say for example, a never before seen weapon, or perhaps a weapon that we have seen previously in the Black Ops franchise, becomes available to us in the black market through the use of microtransactions. That DLC weapon is then acquired by players, and hitting the max level with that weapon unlocks a new, never before seen operator mod exclusive to that DLC. That makes sense because, again, some operator mods completely change the way that people play the game, and it could be incredibly exciting to pick up that new DLC weapon in the hopes of unlocking that operator mod. The operator mods could be absolutely game-changing on some of these DLC weapons that I'm sure we'll have in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 because money, right? So that is the #1 way I could see operator mods being brought into the game, but a boy can dream. And some of my favorite videos I've made in the past were dreaming up epic variants for weapons in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Those are really fun videos, and I've done the same process here because if Treyarch won't do their goddamn job, I guess I'll have to. Coming up, 9 unique operator mod attachments for the 9 weapons Treyarch forgot. The KN57 is essentially your AK-47 variant in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. There's always been some type of AK in almost every single Call of Duty game. What is the most iconic attachment for the AK-47? That's right, the underbarrel GP25 grenade launcher. I would love to see an undermounted grenade launcher operator mod for the KN57. It could be a little toxic, but if balanced properly, they could definitely include a single grenade launcher on a single weapon, and I think it would go over really, really well. So a grenade launcher for the KN57 is one of my personal favorite ideas. The ICR-7 was one of my favorite assault rifles in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 when it was then known as the ICR-1. Back then, you could use the suppressor on the ICR-1. It was actually my favorite tactic because the weapon was so accurate. You could sneak around behind enemy lines and engage enemies from a longer distance with a suppressed weapon and eliminate them pretty quickly. In Call of Duty Black Ops 4, you can't use the suppressor on the ICR-7. But what if there was an advanced suppressor? There were advanced suppressor attachments in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. These were suppressors that had no damage drop-off. If you didn't know, when you're using a suppressor in Call of Duty, your damage will drop off a lot more quickly than if you didn't have that suppressor. It is a balancing factor for being off the minimap. So if you had an advanced suppressor on the ICR-7, making it an incredibly powerful accuracy stealth assault rifle, I think that would be very, very cool. The last assault rifle without an operator mod is the Rampart 17, and this is where I got a little experimental. Ricochet rounds, bullets that bounce off of walls when you fire them. I was looking for an LMG to put this on because it sounds like a more powerful ability for maybe a slower firing LMG, but all of the LMGs have operator mods. The Rampart 17 is the closest thing to an LMG, and I think ricochet rounds would work really, really well on that Rampart, especially given how high damage they are. Of course, after bullets ricochet, they would do less damage than they would if you were hitting an enemy directly, but it's just a cool idea that I think could go over really well. Moving into the sniper rifle category, 2 of my weaker ideas. If you have any better options, let me know in the comment section down below. The Paladin HB50 would have an attachment known as the rangefinder, though it wouldn't necessarily find ranges, but instead your bullets would travel faster, similar to the long barrel 2 attachment on certain weapons, and they would no longer drop off at range, effectively making them hit scans at all ranges. The SDM, I've got the ballistic CPU, which was always an attachment in Call of Duty games, but for some reason hasn't made an appearance in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. This would drastically reduce the idle sway, effectively making this weapon a laser when you're aiming down sights. I would also throw in no hipfire ADS transition idle sway, similar to the Koshka in that when you aim down sights, you are instantaneously targeting the exact center of your screen, helpful for those aim in quickly and start firing gunfights. Moving on to the MX-9, one of the MX-9 variants currently available, I believe it is the Patriot, looks like it's an over-under double barrel SMG, and that just got me so excited. Remembering the VPR from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I want a double barrel SMG, and that's what I would do with the MX-9. 3 more weapons, and they're all secondaries. There are 3 sidearms in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer: the semi-auto Strife, the semi-auto Mozu, and the 3-round burst RK-7 Garrison. No fully automatic pistol? I would love to see the RK-7 Garrison operator mod turn it into a fully automatic pistol, or at the very least, a fully automatic burst, by which I mean you pull the trigger and every bullet in the magazine comes flying out. If you had Extended Mags 2 on with like 35 bullets in that pistol, 35 bullet burst. That sounds wild. That would be so cool. So a fully auto or fully auto burst RK-7 Garrison. The Hellion Salvo is a bit of a tough one. I'm guessing rocket volley, some kind of thing that shoots multiple rockets at once to make it more effective against enemy infantry. And last but not least, the combat knife. Well, there's only one thing we can really do with the combat knife, and that's the ballistic knife. While the combat knife doesn't necessarily have attachments, to see a ballistic fire operator mod transforming this weapon into the fan favorite ballistic knife would be a great way to introduce that weapon into the game without the use of microtransactions or whatever other bullshit they're going to pull back those fan favorites like the crossbow, the ballistic knife, and others. So I'd love to see that for the combat knife. Those are my ideas in terms of operator mod attachments for the 9 weapons that have gone without. If you have any ideas of your own, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. For these 9 weapons, for any of the 27 weapons currently available in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, if you have a better idea than the operator mods currently existing, or even if you have ideas for operator mods for weapons that are not currently in the game, future operator mods that you might implement to a specific weapon, let me know in the comment section down below. Let's hypothesize. Let's come up with some really cool ideas here, because no offense to Treyarch, but they're kind of slacking in the terms of this is a really cool, new, innovative thing in their game, and they kind of did the bare minimum with it. So let me know in the comment section all of your thoughts and ideas. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check out some of the videos linked in the description down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.